Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Episode 11 of Brat Said That. I am your host, Brat Jackson, and welcome. I hope everybody had a great Halloween. I did. I passed out candy. It was awesome. I gave a little extra candy to the Batman and the horror characters, but it was a great day. I love Halloween. It's one of my favorite holidays. I'm more of a Christmas guy. You know, we didn't decorate anything for Halloween, but Christmas, we're going to go all out. But hopefully you had a safe, good Halloween. Let me just make sure I'm live so we can start the show. Today, I know today's election day for some states, so go out there and vote. I don't think in a wonderful Vienna we are having any elections, but if it's state, go vote, guys. That's your American duty to go vote. Oh, I'm just looking at some of the posts I made on Facebook. I'm a funny guy. And there I am. Let me make sure that okay. Shush there, Jiggles. Be quiet. All right. So let's get the show going. We got a lot to talk about. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, the 4th of November. So let me just make sure I'm live, I can never get this going. I can see that I'm live. Bada boom, bada bang. Let me see my pretty face. And I know I'm live because I can see myself. So, guys, we gotta talk about Saturday night's main event. Oh, before we talk about it, we need to open up a Coke Zero, by the way. The traditional Coke Zero portion of the show in the WWE Cup. Guys, you know what? A lot of people are like, oh, Coke Zero, Coke Zero is Coke Zero, okay? It's not Coca-Cola, it's Coke Zero. It's better than some of this stuff out there, folks, okay? And I'm not going to stop drinking it, so. Oh, Julian! So we do got to talk about Saturday night's main event. I was 4 for 4 with my predictions. I know I don't say I do predictions, but hey, 4 for 4. Cody Rhodes retained over Drew McIntyre, still the WWE champion. Cody's might go down that hill path. Who knows? Hey, Julian, it is 2025. We can be whatever you want to be. So, cheers to whatever your preferences are out there in the world. Silly. Cody Rhodes retained. He's still WWE champion. So, we'll see what happens. Drew McIntyre, he's like, I love you too, Julian. Always and forever, bud. You're one of my boys. He's still the WWE champion. And we will see what happens. Drew McIntyre, he's been like 0 for 6 in his last title shots. What do you do with Drew McIntyre? Okay, he deserves a championship reign in front of people. We all know COVID 2020 hit. He won the title at the main event. Yes, the main event of that WrestleMania. Don't give me he faced a Big Show right after. That does not count. Okay. He was the WWE champion. He held it for a long time. He carried the company during COVID. 5 years later, he definitely, I don't like to say deserves, but he deserves to have a lengthy championship reign. But speaking of new champions, Jade Cargill. The Storm has arrived and is taking out Tiffany Stratton. Jade Cargill is the new women's champion. I've always been a fan of Jade Cargill. Okay? I know I say a lot about like the AEW, how I don't watch it, but I watched her with Jade. She is ripped to pieces. She is just phenomenal. And Tiffany Stratton, she held the title for a very long time in these days, So what happens to Tiffy? Is it Tiffy time's over? Jade Cargill is the new women's champion. Dominic Mysterio, though, one of my favorite things on all wrestling, retained the WWE Intercontinental Championship. He's been champion since WrestleMania Night 2. Defeated Penta and Rusev. I love Dirty Dom being Dirty Dom. Rusev had Penta in the accolade. The bell rang, ding, 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 ding. Rusev, he thought he won. He was celebrating, but nope. It was Dominic Mysterio on the outside ringing the bell. And just some dirty, dirty heel work by Dominic. Best thing in wrestling right now. Still the Intercontinental champion. We were talking about what happened on Raw. And the main event, finally, CM Punk is once again the World Heavyweight Champion by defeating Jey Uso. We need to talk about Jey Uso, okay? Because Jey Uso, he is up for the weekly Bratwurst award. I don't know. I don't know what it is with Jey Uso. He didn't look very Usy in that match, okay? He didn't. But Punk, once again, is the World Heavyweight Champion. Good for Punk. I like seeing him as champion. I didn't care for... I'm slowly falling back in love with CM Punk, okay? When he was in AEW, the Brawl out, I didn't care for him, you know? Philly Phil, stay away, stay away. But now that he's back, seems like he cleared his head. He is a World Heavyweight Champion. The backbone of SWA. That is right. Don't you ever forget it, okay? Okay? FAFO. Speaking about people that have F'd around and found out, Logan Paul found out last night. He teamed with CM Punk against the Vision, and then he turned on CM Punk and the Vision. And he turned CM Punk and joined or helped the Vision. Logan Paul is never going to be a face, okay? Logan Paul is not... Maybe if you're like 10 and under, okay, you can cheer for Logan Paul. But Logan Paul, I'm bouncing back and forth. I got Logan Paul in my mind. But we talked about Saturday Night's main event. CM Punk, Jey Uso, great, you know, not a great match, but Uso needs to do something. Punk, new heavyweight champion. I don't want to jump over to the historical announcement. John Cena, his last match ever. It's going to be a tournament of 16 people from Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and people that don't even work there. And the winner is going to face John Cena in his last final match ever. I think that is phenomenal. Great. We got the first bracket, the first participants, Sheamus, Shinsuke Nakamura, Rusev, and Damian Priest. This is a cool way to have John Cena's last opponent announced. Really is. I can't wait. I want to see surprises. Now, I don't think we're going to see Edge in a tournament, you know? I want to see Edge come back just for, like, even if it's just a segment. Just come out, you know, because they had so much history in 2006. They really, really did. And it's going to be exciting. Who do you give this opportunity to? Do you give it to somebody that has a lot of history with John Cena? Do you give it to, like John Cena said, when he debuted in 2002, he faced, Kurt Angle, ruthless aggression, smack. Do you give it to an up-and-comer? So, hey, first cough of the show. But yeah, that's awesome. I love it. I can't wait to hear more. And I'm a big fan of tournaments. Always have been, always will be. But yes, let's jump over to Raw last night. I was at work last night. I couldn't watch Raw. I was getting the information and highlights from my wonderful girlfriend. Because I got her into wrestling, and she watches wrestling. And she was sending me videos. She loves Penta, Zero Mero. That's for you, babe. She loves Nikki Bella. It's great. It is phenomenal. I love it. I'm going to say phenomenal. Phenomenal count 4. But yeah, CM Punk, he came out. The Vision interrupted him. Logan Paul came out. Was like, hey, dude, don't do that to CM Punk. And then at the end of the night, CM Punk, Jey Uso. Logan Paul, I'll tell you, with his little brass knuckles, looked good. When he punches him, it looks really, really good. So we're probably going to see CM Punk and Logan Paul. Maybe Survivor Series. That would be a great World Heavyweight Championship match. A lot of people like to poopy on Logan Paul. I don't like Logan Paul's YouTube thing. I'm not into that. But as a wrestler, I can respect it, He puts in the time. He's been champion. He's always good. He's a good. If Logan Paul wasn't a YouTuber and had that aura around him, I think people would just be just fine with him in his position. But we did have Dirty Dom come out and confront his dad, or the other way around. Like I said, I didn't get to watch Raw. Dominic versus Ray, San Diego, title versus career. Let's have it. What more do you want from Rey Mysterio? He's a legend, absolute icon. Last match against his son in San Diego, 619, booyaka, booyaka. Book it, Triple H. And then, of course, you have, Dominic retain. Triple H also said there's a new landscape coming to WWE, whatever that means. Whatever that means. That just means, hey, people aren't liking my product right now, so maybe we should make a new landscape. Whatever. Book better shows. That's all I can say. And get rid of. Oh, don't get rid of all the sponsorship because money's money. But damn, I don't need to be watching a show, and it's like this blood. Listen, literally, we're talking about Dominic and Ray back in WrestleMania 39. Okay, those two were about to fight each other, father versus son, in brutal battle, family, personal. It was sponsored by Cinnamon Toast Crunch. 2 coughs. I need a cough button. But, yeah, this is something. We did Penny's poll this week. Who's going to be the new World Heavyweight Champion? CM Punk won 100% on the poll and the championship. And, like I said, Jey Uso is up for the Bratwurst Award of the Week. We will get more into that later. But the wrestling side of the WWE, Julian, you silly man, Julian. But yeah, that's the wrestling side of it. We could talk about All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, I'm excited for the Women's Tag Team Tournament Championship Tournament for the new championship tag team titles. I have here Marina Shafir replaced Penelope Ford as Megan Bain's partner due to injury. Marina Shafir, if you don't know who she is Mrs. Roderick Strong. She was part of the Horsewomen with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler and Jessamine Duke. She's now with the Death Riders, and she's like, John Moxley's kind of henchwoman. So that's cool. She was a little rough in the beginning, but she's doing her thing. Tomorrow I saw Dynamite. They got Mercedes Moné and Athena facing Willow Nightingale and Harley Cameron for the to move on to the tournament. Like I said, I hope they're not building this tournament just to give Mercedes another championship. But they're doing a women's Blood and Guts. I talked about it last time, but now we have the whole roster. It's like a bunch of women. Jamie Hayter, Queen Aminata, Willow Nightingale, Harley Cameron, Toni Storm, and Chris Statlander versus Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Tekla, Megan Mine, Marina Shafir, and Mercedes Moné. So, hey, if you want to put 8 women inside of a steel cage and see what happens, I'm all for that, Equal rights, equal fights. They also did a funny little Young Buck commercial where Nick Jackson, no relation, was trying to get a candy bar out of the machine, and then Matt Jackson, no relation, came and they did their pose, and then the money fell out. It reminded me a lot of those old Sports Center commercials with like Stuart Scott, which I have his book. I miss Stuart Scott. I could talk about him forever. One of the inspirations for me to do a show like this. But it was like a cute little commercial. I hope they keep doing those. But I don't really watch AEW. I've been following it a lot more, guys, Full Gear, speaking about the Young Bucks. Kenny Omega, Jack Perry, and Luchasaurus. They're going to take on Josh Alexander and Matt and Nick Jackson in a trios match. And the winner is going to receive $1 million. Wow. Could this Brat Jackson get on the show? Oh, we're going to get to the trades. We're going to get to the trades coming soon. That is in 3 segments away. Since you asked about it, let's move on. We're going to move on because I am a family-friendly show. We could talk about the NFL, but like I said, wrestling, AEW is good spirit. Full Gear is in a couple weeks. Blood and Guts is in the 12th. Maybe I can do like a tweet along. But like my buddy John X, we could talk about football. We could talk about Chad LGBT. He went 8-6 this week. Congrats to Chad. Not his best week, but not the worst week. The week is really, thank you, Julian. You're the best. But speaking about trades, Sauce Garner from the Jets gets traded to the Colts. Sauce goes from 1-7 to 7-2. Okay, the Jets trade to the Colts 2 first-round picks, 2026 and 2027 from the Colts, and wide receiver Onama Mitchell. Now, why is Onama Mitchell infamous on the show? He was the first ever recipient of the Bratwurst Award when in week 4, right as he's got to score the goal-winning touchdown, he fumbles the ball. But hey, Sauce Garner going from the Jets to the Colts, good on you, buddy. You're going to probably definitely taste the postseason this year. If I was Sauce Garner, I would leave New York so fast. So fast the Statue of Liberty would be shaking their head. But, I mean, what do you gain as a Jet? Right now, your season's over. Let's be honest. You're 1-7. You didn't lose on Sunday because you didn't play, but you most likely would have lost on the bye week. Your season's pretty much over. Thank you, buddy. I tried. 1-7. Dolphins 2-7. Like that division, it's either the Patriots or Bills. Speaking about the Bills, hey Bills, congrats for beating the Chiefs, but can you do it later this year when it matters? When it matters, man. You're so good against the Chiefs in the regular season every game matters, but maybe with the AFC Championship on the line with 13 seconds left, you cannot lose to the Chiefs. Somehow the Chiefs, I'll be honest, are 5-4. Or what are they? They're in the AFC, right? Yeah, they're my division. Sorry, my co-producer has me looking up the stats right here. Yeah, the Chiefs are 5-4. The Broncos 7-2. Good for you, John. I know you're a Broncos fan. Chargers 6-3. Chiefs are 5-4. And somehow I feel like the Chiefs are still in it. Like the Jaguars are 5-3, but I don't see them winning the division. I don't see them going to the playoffs. But the Chiefs, with the referees on their side, hey man, I don't really see. I can still see the Chiefs winning. I heard that Travis Kelce got a boo-boo or had a big play last night against the Chiefs. Ooh, I hit my microphone. Let me see what happened to Travis Kelce. I've always liked Travis Kelce too. I know he's with, everybody goes crazy with him and Taylor Swift. But hey, Travis Kelce is one of the greatest tight ends of all time. And I like his brother Jason. So Travis Kelce, I don't know why we're talking about it. Kelce took a mid-air hit from Cole Bishop during the Week 9 game versus Buffalo Bills. He had to exit the field briefly. He came back, whatever, clear concussion. So, Swifties, relax. Travis Kelce is still going to be on the field. Somebody who's not going to be on the field is the Commanders quarterback, Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels during Week 9 in a big loss to Seattle. Suffered a left elbow injury when he was sacked. His arm bent awkwardly during the hit. Initial X-rays reportedly were negative for major fractures. But yeah, he's gonna miss multiple games. No timeline yet. They got Marcus Mariota. I like Marcus Mariota. He was a Raider. He did pretty good for us, which is an oxymoron because good and Raiders don't belong in a sentence together. But we'll see. Washington Commanders, they were in the NFC Championship game last year. Was going to go to the Super Bowl. Oh, God, we're going to talk about this much right here. This much right here. No, I'm not talking about what Julian has right now. Oh my God, this is going to talk. We got this right here we're going to talk about. So we can go look over the football scores. Raiders lost again. Get rid of Geno Smith. For the love of God, he is horrible. He is trash. Okay, so they tie up the game against Jacksonville and decide to go for 2. Geno Smith throws it, and oh my God. But hey, at least we're going to get a high draft pick this year. Because Jesus Christ, are the Raiders bad. Poor Max Crosby. The only guy that doesn't deserve the worst stuff that he's getting. Ravens came back. We talked about the Ravens winning. Lamar, no relation. Won big. Vikings over the Lions. That was a huge win for the Vikings. The Steelers over the Colts. Patriots are doing good. Stop doing good, Patriots. You're supposed to be bad. Broncos over the Texans. The Bears and the Bengals combined for 89 points. What a game for the Bears and the Bengals. The lock of the week. The Rams defeated the Saints, but that was guaranteed. That's why it was lock of the week. The Panthers come back to beat the Packers. Good on the Panthers. Listen. Panthers are serious. 5-4. They've been pretty trash the last few decades. Ever since they lost to the Super Bowl, but that was a big win for them. The Bills over the Chiefs, like we talked about. Hey, shout out to Arizona beating the Cowboys. You know what's better than seeing the Cowboys lose? Seeing the Cowboys lose in prime time. So, Cowboys, your 3-5-1 record. Oh boy. We'll talk about Week 10. The Raiders are playing Thursday against the Broncos. So, John, let me know. Let me know if you want to, give me your insight. Raiders 6-2, Broncos 7-2. It's gonna be a massacre. But yeah, speaking about that, football season is, this is mid-season right now. We are just on the way. Winners are winning, losers are losers. There's really nothing more or less to talk about. We do have to talk about, we got to spend a good chunk of time, kids, so sit down, buckle up, grab a Coke Zero. The Los Angeles Dodgers are back-to-back champions. I have no horse in the race. Like I said, since I started the show, I wanted the Mariners, and I wanted the Brewers. But we got the Dodgers, and we had the Blue Jays. Great World Series. Phenomenal World Series. Phenomenal count. Ding. Great World Series. Dodgers win in extras in Game 7. My buddy, Isaiah Falefa. My buddy. I have talked about you so much. I have hyped you up since you were on the Yankees. And Isaiah Falefa, you did what you had to do. You were this close. This close, buddy. But hey, it happens. That's sports. It was a close play. Damn. If you don't know, Isaiah Falefa, he was on the Blue Jays. He's on third base. He gets a hit, and he's running. He slides. And he gets tagged out by this much. That much, Julian. Look down. That's how much he got tagged out by. And he was out. Saves the Dodgers career, or saves the Dodgers season. Then you also have that crazy outfield play by, I know it's not Pages colliding with Kike Hernandez. I certainly thought that the Blue Jays had it right there. They had it right there. But damn, man. And then you got jiggy with it. Will Smith hit a home run to lead the Dodgers. And then Alejandro Kirk hits that double play. The Dodgers are back-to-back champions. First repeat champion since the 98-2000 Yankees. First NL back-to-back champion since the Reds in 75 and 76. Hey, Yoshinobu, Yamamoto, MVP, man. Congrats. He was a pitching machine. He pitched game 6. Then he came in, won it. Cough 3. And, there you go. Heartbreaking for Toronto. Dodgers, you got it. Can you go 3-peat? Are you going to go 3-peat? We got to see. We'll come back next year. We'll see. But what a great World Series. Unfortunately, with the World Series ending, that means baseball season is over. And if you want to talk about the baseball season, because we just started this show during the postseason, so we didn't really talk too much about, the 2025 season. How did your team do? Like I said, I'm a White Sox fan. So we were 60-102. Horrible, but better than last year. The Mets, of course, you know about the Mets missing the postseason by 1 game in the wild card. Oh, man. What do you do? What's your team? I got a lot of people that are Yankee fans. They're upset. They're upset that they didn't win another championship. Guys, it's been 15 years. Okay? I know you made it in 2024 last year. You didn't make it. But we'll see. Mariners, get your S together. Come on now. You were my favorite. You were my hope to win the whole thing. Red Sox, hey, the Astros didn't make the playoffs. So that's good too. Athletics will soon be. This is not an athletic hat, but this is the Las Vegas Aviators minor league team. So we'll see you in 2028. Have fun in Sacramento next year. But, man, I really love baseball season. When my dad was alive, we used to watch baseball every time. We used to watch a Yankee game. I went like a whole year without watching any baseball after he passed. But, we just got to keep doing what you're doing. Enjoy the off season. Dodgers, congrats. You are the World Series champions back to back. Hey, it wasn't the Red Sox. It wasn't the Astros. It wasn't the Cubs. So, and it wasn't the White Sox. It's never going to be the White Sox. But speaking about never being, I do want to talk about, we do want to talk about the only announcements. Thank you, buddy. I'm trying, Julian. I really am trying. Talk about a lot of sports. Mostly wrestling. You know me. I love wrestling more than anything sports related. But, we do have the Rookie of the Year, Manager of the Year, and Cy Young and MVP all announced. Coming up in a few days. So next show we'll talk about that. Otani's winning the NL MVP. Cal Raleigh most likely the AL MVP. So we'll talk about those next show. That was the MLB season. They are doing the 2025. Okay, this is a hard word to say. Contemporary Major League Baseball era Hall of Fame ballot. What does that mean? What does that mean? We have the Hall of Fame ballot this year. We know Ichiro went in. Who else went in this year? I know Ichiro. Listen, guys, we need to stop this one vote shy of the Hall of Fame, okay? We did that with Jeter. We did that with Ichiro. The fact that there was one guy, 99.7% said yes for Ichiro, and some schmuck said no, is horrible. Okay? Stop it. Okay? If I am going to, I'll get makes me angry. This year, in the Hall of Fame, we had Ichiro, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner. Very, very good class. Wow, Billy Wagner was in his 10th year on the ballot. I think that's the most you can get, right? But, so now we have the contemporary Major League Baseball Hall of Fame ballot. If you don't know what that is, it is Major League handles Hall of Fame voters for players, managers, and executives who are no longer on the writer's ballot. So obviously we know every year when you retire, you got to wait 5 years, and then you get nominated, for the Hall of Fame. Sometimes it's 3, 4, even maybe 5 people getting in. Sometimes it's 0. There's been 3 years in the last 15 where nobody got voted in. But this year they're trying to say Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, Carlos Delgado, Jeff Kent, Don Mattingly, Del Murphy, Gary Sheffield, and Fernando Valenzuela. They are in the ballot, which focuses on players whose primary contributions to the game. Okay, so let's be honest. Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens, yes, they're surrounded by PEDs, but Barry Bonds is the best hitter I've ever seen in my life. Okay? He deserves to go in. Roger Clemens, and I'm going to say the word deserves because this dude deserves to go in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens deserves to go in the Hall of Fame. But these guys, this group of players, they're going to get voted in for like a second chance kind of. I have guaranteed, good chance, maybe unlikely, and very unlikely. We can start with guaranteed. I talked to my producer. We agreed. Fernando Valenzuela, Dodgers pitcher, Dodgers legend, phenomenal early career and cultural impact. He is guaranteed a very highly possibility. Good chance, Don Mattingly. If you're a Yankees fan, you know Don Mattingly. Maybe Jeff Kent, unlikely this year. Gary Sheffield, Del Murphy, and Carlos Delgado. And very unlikely long-term Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. We all know Barry Bonds, Clemens, and Sheffield face the stigma with the PED use. So here's the thing. I want to talk about this. Let's go back all the way to 2001. There's a great documentary on ESPN. It's Long Ball Summer. Talks about the summer of Sosa, Griffey, and McGuire hitting home runs and home runs and home runs. This is going to be a very controversial take because the MLB knew what they were doing. They knew they were juicing up. But they weren't going to say anything. They weren't going to say anything because of all the publicity, the money they were making, the fan attendance skyrocketing up. So when they retired and they didn't need them anymore, that's when Jose Canseco, I have his book somewhere. There it is. I have Jose Canseco's book. I have a lot of books. I should do a book tour, okay? Did I read all these books? No. But they're a good backdrop to have. Then they didn't need him anymore. They're like, oh, PEDs, you don't belong in the Hall of Fame. Barry Bonds, I don't care what you inject in your butt. There's no way you can hit 762 home runs and be like, yeah, it was all because of steroids. Dude, the dude was a Hall of Famer before he even got jacked. When he was on the Pirates. So, then Roger Clemens, yeah, he was, we all remember Red Sox and the Yankees throwing the bat at Mike Piazza. 354 wins, 7 Cy Youngs. Now, here's a trivia question. Who's the greatest pitcher that ever won the Cy Young? The answer is Cy Young. I like that little a joke. But really, you put those guys in the Hall of Fame. Pete Rose, rest in peace, Pete Rose. You deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. You bet on baseball. Okay, not cool, but a lifetime ban? Well, guess what? The life part is no longer with us right now. So, put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Stop waiting to have a deliberate... I heard they're going to have to talk about it in December 2027. Stop it. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. You put his stats in the Hall of Fame. You put his gear in the Hall of Fame. You put his everything in the Hall of Fame. But you don't have Pete Rose, the player, in the Hall of Fame. Put him in the Hall of Fame. It's been decades, and he's in the WWE Hall of Fame. He's in a Hall of Fame that matters to me mostly. But stop it. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. Put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame. Roger Clemens. And put Tim Lincecum in the Hall of Fame, too. That's just personally. I like Tim Lincecum. But that's baseball. We'll see. I don't have when voting will announce December 7th at 7:30 p.m. So I think, let's see, today is the 4th. I'll be on here 7, but I won't be on, I'll see if I'm on when they announce it. Hey, we were just talking about how you were telling me about Raw last night and your love for Nikki Bella, Zero Mero. Yeah, I have turned her into a wrestling fan. One of my biggest accomplishments in life. But, yeah, get yourself a sexy redhead that can cook, loves wrestling, and is just the most amazing person I've ever met in my life. But speaking about a topic that I'm still trying to get her into, UFC. She likes power slap, but UFC I'm still trying to work her getting into. We had the fight night. Steve Garcia defeated David Onama First round, dominant win. Dominant win. Steven Garcia looked really good. He was ranked like, I think, 14. He'll be in the single digits after Tuesday. Or after whenever they do the rankings. That was a good fight night. There is a little scandal though. There was a little scandal I read. I have this written out. So, Issac Dulgarian. Okay, on November 3rd, 2 days after the conclusion of the event, the UFC released Issac Dulgarian because of his suspicious activity in his bout. Unusual betting activity on the contest was reported a few hours before the event, as Dulgarian dropped from a minus 250 favorite to minus 154 just prior to fight time. That's shady. He also performed poorly and showed questionable defense during his first round loss. The UFC released a statement. This is their statement. I think this is their statement. Like many professional sports organizations, UFC works with an independent betting integrity service to monitor wagering activities on our events. Our betting activity partner, IC360, monitors wagering on every UFC event, is conducting a thorough review of the facts surrounding the Dulgarian versus Del Valle bout on Saturday. We take these allegations very seriously, and along with the health and safety of our fighters, nothing is more important than the integrity of our sport. Wow. So, what does that mean? That means the dude probably knew that he was injured or something, had inside information, told the people that, like, hey, I'm not going to win this fight, so bet on the other guy. So, that you know, that's not cool. That's not cool. I didn't see that fight to determine if he really looked that bad. But, hey, not cool. And you know what? The more that I talk about it, and the more that I read this, I was going to give Jey Uso the Bratwurst Award. I was. But I got to give it to Issac Dulgarian. Issac Dulgarian, I don't know who you are. Good luck in the rest of your future endeavors. But if you are betting on that and you are just being a total POS, you deserve the Bratwurst Award. So congrats. You get the Bratwurst Award. I was waiting. I was going to give it to Jey. I was this close. I was an IKF slide away from giving it to Jey. But, hey, that betting, if that's true, not cool, man. Not cool. But what is cool, we got this weekend, oh, my voice cracked. Hello. UFC Fight Night, Bonfirm versus Brown. Randy Brown, 20-6, coming off a win in April. 14 ranked Gabriel Bonfirm, 18-1, 3-fight win streak. Last big win against Wonderboy. So, hey, even though Wonderboy might be at the end of his career, a win over him is still a good highlight. Still something, impressive resume. I always say about the Apex cards that they should never have an Apex event at the Apex. But I felt like these cards last week and next week, perfect Apex cards. Perfect Apex cards. And sometimes these names, I don't want to say no names, but these younger or lesser known fighters put on phenomenal fights. Phenomenal fights. Speaking about phenomenal fights, MSG next week, November 15th. Not next week, in 11 days. We'll talk more about 322, give our predictions. MSG, hey, it is a mecca. I've been there on a field trip. What a weird thing to take a field trip. Like, I don't remember why we went to Madison Square Garden, but it was like, you know, we just packed up the school bus from Long Island and drove into the city. So, hey, speaking about somebody who's taking a field trip, Jake Paul. All right, we're going to take a huge chunk about Jake Paul. Jake Paul, the YouTuber, brother Logan Paul, somewhat boxer. He was supposed to face Gervonta Davis in a highly accomplished, or in a boxing fight, November 14th in Miami. It is now canceled. Canceled. On October 27th, Davis was accused by his ex-girlfriend of battery aggression. false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress at her workshop, a strip club. A civil lawsuit was filed, and local police confirmed an investigation was among with a restraining order issued. Well, I take back what I said. Okay? I take back what I said. Issac Dulgarian, you are no longer the Bratwurst recipient of the week. This goes to the Jake Paul, Gevonte Davis, that fight. Both of them. Okay, so I'd say, Brat said that with a sense bar over my mouth. I'm going to get non-jiggly. When I talk about this. First off, domestic violence has no place. Ever. Okay? Battery, aggressive battery, false imprisonment, kidnapping, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. I don't like to curse on the show, but that's horrible. You should never fight again. You're 30-0-1. I'm in real time getting angry at this. Jake Paul, listen, Jake Paul, you're not a boxer. You're not. Who, we can look at his record and see who he fought. Let's see. His first win, he fought, I don't even know what that is. Is that a name? Anderson Gim. Then you faced Nate Robinson. You beat Ben Askren, who, hey, it's glad to see Ben Askren is doing much better. Then you faced Tyron Woodley twice. You lose to Anderson Silva. Sir, you don't lose to Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva lets you lose to him. And then you lose to Nate Diaz. And then you face Mike Perry. And then Mike Tyson. You're a joke. I'm sorry. Your boxing record, 12-1, is an absolute joke. Mike Tyson is almost 60. Okay? Julio Chavez, I don't think that is his father. He's almost 40. So am I. But it's disgusting. Stop it. You've never been in any damage. Your boxing, I don't even want to say there's any reputation with boxing anymore. Because, really, why do I get excited for boxing? What boxing fight? And I love boxing. It's just horrible. It's just, you stop it. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay? I'm going to drink this Coke Zero in anger. What it means. What does it mean? Okay. Jake Paul will not fight Davis on the planned date. Good for him. Netflix intended to headline a fight in 2025. A new opponent. They were trying to find a new opponent for Jake Paul. Okay? They were talking about Francis Ngannou, Nate Diaz, Ryan Garcia, Terrence Crawford. Okay. If you want to make money and put on a spectacle, sure. Fight Jake Paul. Go ahead. But if you want any credibility left, don't fight Jake Paul. God. I'm getting angry just talking about this. I gotta move on. I didn't think it was gonna make me this angry, but domestic violence has no place. I do want to do something right here. I want to get a little non-sporty. Hey, domestic violence hotline, 800-799-7233. I like to talk about sports. I don't get political. I don't like to talk about, non-sport related stuff, but, be careful out there, man. You guys, girls, guys, domestic violence has no place in anything we do. But I didn't want to get off talking about that. That boxing fight isn't going to happen. Enjoy your bratwurst. You guys suck. Speaking about teams that don't suck, the Oklahoma City Thunder, they're 7-0. They're looking great. Like I said, it's hard because I really like to repeat myself. The NBA season is just really starting. And the NHL season is just starting. Thunder 7-0, Spurs 5-1, Lakers 6-2. My Mavs, sir, 2-5. Sir, stop it. Sir, sir, this is a Wendy's. On the Eastern Conference, 76ers and Bulls and Bucks and Pistons. Oh, wow. Good for the Pistons, too, because the Pistons have been horrible. They haven't been good for a very, very long time. Knicks are 4-3. There's not much to talk about, you know. Victor Wembanyama, he is what everybody thought he would be. He is slowly becoming legendary, historical start. I can't wait. Listen, back when the playoffs talk, we're going to get, you know, we're going to... By the way, if anybody wants to grant me a new tripod for Christmas, thank you. That was the first time the tripod fell in like 6 shows. So, like I said, NBA is happening. Nothing too crazy. NHL, we can look at the standings there. The Canadians, 9-3. Come on, Canada. I want to, just like you were almost going to bring a World Series championship up north, let's see you do it in hockey. All right, you do that hockey. The Atlantic Division, the Devils, what is going on with the Devils? They have been bad, but now they're good. Penguins, we're tied for first place. And really, like, hey, man, it's early in the season, so I can't really get excited. You know, football, it's mid-season. There's trades. There's big rumors going on. But the Kraken, Seattle Kraken, first in the Pacific Division. The Avalanche, hey, like I said, I love the Avalanche too. So, it's just heating up. You know, I know I'm not as energetic when we get to the NBA and NHL part of the show, but it really, you know, excuse me. But I think that's it, guys. We talked about wrestling. NXT tonight, check it out. Dynamite tomorrow. Talk more about, we'll be on Friday. We're going to talk more about John Cena. And guys, hey, follow me on Twitter. Brat said that X. I'm almost at 250 followers. John Cena's following me, so you should too. And guys, I want to be a little, I do post a lot about my YouTube. You know, check it out. Press subscribe. Like my stuff. You don't have to sit through and watch a whole episode. I would like you to. I know, you know, my nasally voice and mumbling, you know. But try, you know, just take a second. Like, I know you guys follow all the big sports brands. They won't appreciate your like or subscribe like I would. It hits me in the heart, okay? It's like a dagger in the heart. It's like a knife in the heart every time you guys don't subscribe or like my show. Yes, ma'am. Instagram, Brat Jackson, the O in Jackson 0. Come check me out. I'll be doing some open mics this week. I want to get back on my comedy career. But other than that, we talked about CM Punk, new World Heavyweight Champion, John Cena's tournament. Excuse me. Full Gear coming up. Baseball Hall of Fame. The Dodgers, congrats, World Series champions. Boxing, Steve Garcia, big win. Issac Dulgarian. This weekend, check out, you know, just check out it. We'll be on Friday. Like I said, maybe we can talk a little bit non-sports related. We could, you know, just because today is election day, we could talk about elections, you know. It looks like Alabama, Arizona, where was this? California, whatever. I don't want to talk about election. Go vote. That's all you got to do. If your state has any elections, go vote. Make a difference. Yeah, I know New York has a big one. I had some lady. She was so upset. She was so upset about the New York election, and I was just laughing. But we don't get political. We get sports political. And that's it for my show. Thank you, babe, for the love and the likes. I love you so much. And I love you guys so much. We will be back on Friday. like I said, hey, Jake Paul, Gevonte Davis, I hope that bratwurst that you are eating is disgusting because you two are disgusting. And Chad LGBT, 8 and 6. Anything else you got to say? No? Listen, guys, take Penny's poll too. It's on my Instagram every Thursday. Okay? She likes when you take her polls. She gets happy. She tells me every time somebody takes her polls, she's like, "Rup, rup, 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 rup." That's a dog bark. But other than that, I'm out. Guys, thank you all. I hope you had a great Halloween. Eat all the candy. I had so much Twizzlers, I started peeling off myself. Anyway, good night, guys. And remember, sports. I got to come up with another line. Goodbye, guys.